Hi, boys and girls. I have another book I want to share with you. Today's Wednesday, so I have this book I'd like to share, and then after this, we have 4 more days of schoolwork that you have for kindergarten, so I have 4 more books I'm going to read to you. This book is one that's another one of Lucy's books that I found here at the house. It's called A Mother for Choco. Isn't that a funny name? Choco? But listen to this name. It's written and it's illustrated by a person named Kiko Kaza. And that name sounds funny to us because she's Japanese. And if you look inside, this is a book that Lucy got for a present, and the lady who drew the pictures and wrote the story, she wrote her name in Japanese, Kiko Kaza. Isn't that cool? So Lucy had a book that's signed by the author. All right, A Mother for Choco. Choco was a little bird who lived all alone. He wished he had a mother, but who could be his mother, or who could his mother be? One day he set out to find her. First, Choco met Mrs. Giraffe. "Oh, Mrs. Giraffe," he cried, "you are yellow just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Giraffe, "but I don't have wings like you." Next, Choco met Mrs. Penguin. "Oh, Mrs. Penguin," he cried, "you have wings just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Penguin, "but I don't have big round cheeks like you." Then Choco met Mrs. Walrus. "Oh, Mrs. Walrus," he cried, "you have big round cheeks just like me. Are you my mother?" "Now look," grumped Mrs. Walrus, "I don't have striped feet like you, so don't bother me." She is grumpy. No matter where Choco searched, he couldn't find a mother who looked just like him. When Choco saw Mrs. Bear picking apples, he knew she couldn't be his mother. Mrs. Bear didn't look like him at all. Choco was so sad he started to cry. "Mommy, Mommy, I need a mommy." Mrs. Bear came running to see what was the matter. As she listened to Choco's story, she sighed. "Oh dear, if you had a mommy, what would she do?" "Oh, I'm sure she would hold me," sobbed Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she held Choco very tight. "Yes, and I'm sure she would kiss me too," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she lifted Choco and gave him a big kiss. "Yes, and I'm sure she would sing and dance with me to cheer me up," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and they sang and they danced together. When they stopped to rest, Mrs. Bear turned to Choco and said, "Choco, maybe I could be your mother." "You?" cried Choco. "But you aren't yellow, and you don't have wings or big round cheeks or striped feet like me." "My goodness," said Mrs. Bear, "that would make me look very funny." Choco thought it was funny too. "Well," said Mrs. Bear, "my other children are waiting for me at home. Why don't you join us for apple pie, Choco?" Apple pie sounded wonderful to Choco, so off they went. When they arrived, Mrs. Bear's other children rushed out to greet her. "Choco," said Mrs. Bear, "meet Hippie, Allie, and Piggy. I'm their mother too." The sweet smell of apple pie and the sound of laughter soon filled Mrs. Bear's home. After their delicious treat, Mrs. Bear gave all of her children a big, warm bear hug. And Choco was very happy that his new mommy looked just the way she did. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought that was a great story with Choco. You have a great afternoon. Love you. Bye-bye.